What is up, and what's going on, fellow fanatics? Appreciate every single one of you guys being here this evening. We do have some things that we're going to get into, and really, when I say some things we're going to get into, it's really just going to be. I thought we'll go into some of the Secret Wars concept art, obviously, because we didn't talk about that and things like that. But for the biggest part of all of this is, for me, rather, the biggest part for me, rather, was the inclusion of seeing the concept art for the Black Panther BP, whoever, whatever BP it is that they are going to be using. Just seeing that concept art, the speculation around it, the conversation around it, it has sparked a lot of conversation and different things like that. So wanted to come in and kind of talk to you guys about it. If you saw Chillmonger's stream that he did, I believe it was on Saturday. I joined that stream with Tina, Blue, Fatal J was in there. There was a couple others in there. We were all, Torian was in there. We were all in there having the conversations about the concept art for Black Panther. And I said some things then. You might have seen it then. So I'm going to kind of repeat some of those things today, but a little more organized, a little more visual effect for everybody. And then obviously we'll break it down, talk about things, get in the chat, and see what everybody's saying. I was not live, Raymond. Chill was live, and I just joined his live stream, and I said some things. And he clipped it. I'll play here what I said then, and I'm gonna kind of again reiterate it, but break it down with some things that we have and whatnot. But before we get anything, Corey, how were you been since the last time we saw you?
Hello everyone, how are you? I've been pretty good, just working, being mom. That's it, pretty much. Same old, same old.
Feel it. I feel it. Well, I'm sure you saw the leaked concept art.
I did.
Yes,
I
yes,
did.
yes. The leaked concept art for Secret Wars and for Doomsday. Um, there are some that are claiming that the concept art is, I don't know what the hell I just clicked. There are some that are claiming that the concept art is strictly for Secret Wars, and some are claiming no, it's also involving Doomsday and things like that. So if you have not, and I'm sure you have, unless you're living under a rock, I'm sure everybody has seen the concept art for it. The main one going around is the image here of Emperor God, or God Emperor Doom. You've got others here. You've got Doctor Strange, Reed Richards, Yelena, seemingly maybe Sue and Franklin here. It's with spectators ongoing, watching and things like that. You know, straight out of the comics, very Secret Wars and things like that. And then you have some concept art
On
there.
par.
Yeah, a few other concept arts things here. I'm kind of scrolling through this because we've all seen this by now, and I'm not breaking down the every bits and pieces of this concept art. We've all seen it. You've all been in spaces talking about it. It's been out for days now. So I'm sure, you guys have all had very nuanced conversations about this, but we are specifically talking about the Black Panther stuff. And again, we'll go into this stuff. Like,
Yes.
I'm not gonna say we're gonna ignore it. We're gonna go into some of that as well. Okay, so let's look here. Where do I want to
Sorry,
start?
every time you scroll past that picture of Feige.
The one of him sniping whoever the fuck shared the
Yeah.
shared the leaks. Um,
Yeah, I died at work for like 10 minutes about that shit.
Yeah, well, let me see if is there I thought I bookmarked one. Maybe I did not. I thought I bookmarked a one with all of the I guess not. I thought I bookmarked one with all of the pictures, all the leaked concept art, but I guess I did not. I guess I just bookmarked these ones. This is the picture here, the first official look at Doctor Doom here, and this I believe is for Doomsday. I think the concept art that
Yeah,
was leaked.
I think this one is for.
Yeah, it was definitely for Doomsday and Secret Wars. He's in the green here, so that would be more for the
Yeah,
Doomsday
so good.
look that he's going to have, and then obviously for Secret Wars, if he's going to be God Emperor Doom, he's going to be in the white. So we should. This is more than likely if the concept art is even real. You know, none of us really know, but I'm banking on it that it probably is real. I saw some people sharing different concept art, like the concept art from that was going to originally make its way into Shang-Chi with that had Deadpool fighting what it was Proxima Midnight, I believe, instead of Wong fighting Abomination. There's other concept art that showed, I remember from No Way Home, that had America Chavez showing up in No Way Home. Looked like they were at maybe a fair or something like that, so with bumper cars, and it had Peter and MJ and all them in it and things like that. So there's other concept art from Multiverse Madness. There's other concept art, and people were sharing that as like saying like people forget like not all these concepts make it. Well, duh, of course not all the concepts make it, but it's a simple fact that these are concepts, and there are definitely concepts that do
Right.
make
So
it
they're being
into the films.
thoughts.
Yeah, these are thoughts. So
Right.
so you may not see, you know, this exact concept art on screen, but it's a simple fact that they are thinking about it. They're trying to you know, put all this stuff together or whatnot. So this could definitely be a first real look at Doctor Doom. And then of course you've got
I
some of the
also
drawings
believe
here.
these concepts. Right. Sorry. I just also believe these concepts just because who's behind these projects. So it's
Yeah,
like exciting, even if it's just concepts. It's exciting because these, like you said, the fact that these are even thoughts.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Then you've
Everything.
got,
So good.
I'm trying to find, see, I didn't even think, where's the Hulk one? I don't even think that one, I have that one saved on here. Did I not save any of that?
Oh, the World of Hulk.
Yeah, because they have the map here. So if in the picture, the concept art that they had, it was, I'm sure I can easily.
It was Hulk, our Hulk and She-Hulk and I'm blanking. Scar.
Hold. Uh,
I'm seeing I'm looking at the one at the far bottom, left and right.
here. Okay. Yeah. You had Greenland here. Well, seemingly what's supposed to be Greenland, like, you know, in Secret Wars, Maestro was
Oh, is
over.
that Greenland?
It could be. I don't know. I'm assuming. It's
I thought it was
it's.
Scar.
I'm just basing it off of, you know, what happens in Secret Wars and things like that. You had Maestro that was over that part of Battleworld, and that at the end of Secret Wars obviously led all the Hulks up against Doom. I mean, this could be that. We've heard rumors. Like everything is a rumor right now. We've heard rumors that in between, I don't know if this really happens. I don't know how they do this. I mean, but there are also the speculation or the out there that, a rumor, I guess this is a rumor as well. I don't know if it came from an actual trade or not, that Doomsday could possibly get delayed. But if, let's say, it does keep its next year date, I don't know, maybe not, unless Secret Wars gets delayed. They're saying that in between that, we know Spider-Man is coming out. That's for sure. But they're also saying, rumor-wise, that a World War Hulk film is supposed to come in between or after Spider-Man 4 and before Secret Wars. Now, with the current slate that they have laid out, I don't see how that happens unless you do delay Secret Wars back past 2027.
Right.
And then you do a World War Hulk film. I don't know if, you know, and what would the budget be for a World War Hulk film? Especially if you doing, you know, this many Hulks. These are all different Hulks back here.
Yeah, these are.
So it'd be pretty interesting if that is something that they're going to do. Obviously, grain of salt. We don't know anything for sure, but that is rumored that those two films are supposed to be the two Battleworld films that take place in between Doomsday and Secret Wars. So if they do that, then maybe you can flesh out. I mean, I don't know. It's so World War Hulk would be so vastly different than what it is in comics if they do decide to do that. I don't even know how. I don't even know. I don't even know what that would look like. But that's what the rumor is right now, that it would be those two films in the middle for a Battle World film, and then you would have Secret Wars to close it all out, take us into the Mutant Saga. So,
Mm.
could
So
possibly happen.
it could, but like,
This is just
mm,
beautiful. I like this though. I really do. It's
I
straight
like
out,
that. I
of
do
the
like.
comics. It's great. The the medieval aesthetic. Uh, everybody online talking about, oh, Marvel is cooking with the medi. Yeah, well, Hickman did that, and back in 2015 when we first saw this, it was Hickman that put those two aesthetics together. The Young Avengers team, that you've got here, this again, it's just concept. This is all change. This could all change if this is the team here. I don't know that you get a Patriot, and the reason I say I don't know that you get a Patriot is because I did not know until this week. I saw the video of the fight. Elijah, that played Eli in the show, got into a fight at Disney World of all places,
Oh,
and
really? Mm.
yes, and that is why he was cut from the show or from the movie. I did not know that. Yeah, that's why he was cut from the movie. Things like that. There is video of the fight, and so I don't know that he's going to be in it unless they recast him. I don't know that he's going to be in it. Who are we missing? Hulkling. We've heard rumors of Hulkling showing up. Possible rumors that he could be showing up in Vision Quest. So we don't really know on that. But I don't see him there either. But as of right now, it looks like that would be the main core of the team. You would have Ms. Marvel,
And then you have, I mean,
Kate,
yeah, Miss
Cassie, the
Marvel
twins.
and which, I mean, where we're going, that seems on par.
Yeah, I don't know that they add. I mean, Hulkling may honestly be in it unless they just use Scar. I know some people have thought that. That's been a theory for some.
And that's why I said it, because I thought it was going to be Scar.
Possibly.
Like when I saw
Possibly.
the concept art, I was like, oh, I'm assuming that's going to be Scar.
Yeah, Gray said, does Eli need a hashtag? I don't. I don't know, but I don't know that brother's gonna be in. Yeah. See, here it is. This dude had asked, he said Brave New World because he was asking why is Patriot not in the concept art. Everybody's saying he better be in Young Avengers lineup. Patriot better be. I wish they would just, if you're parting ways from Elijah due to the incident at Disney, recast the character. Don't just leave him out. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of what caused the fight. There was an article. Hold on. Did I save that article? I know who has it. There's an article on it that has the fight in it, because I know you might want to see the fight. You want to see the fight? Let me see.
Why not? Let's see it.
Let me see. I know who has it. Yeah, so I don't know that he's going to be in it though, because unless they recast him, I don't know that he's going to be there. Geeky was just talking about it because he retweeted it with the article. But you know what? I may be able to do even faster. Oops. No, sorry, can't find it that way either. GeekyCast retweeted it. I should have saved it, but I saved those other two. There it is. But there was an article attached to that. There was an article that was attached to this where I watched the fight. I swear to you, damn, where is that? Check out the check out the article. Yeah, where's the article? Unless he put it in the
Maybe go on their page.
check out the article of how he got into the fight at Disney, and you will get. I saw the article. I read it. I read the article. I watched the fight, and I don't remember who shared the link to it. But yeah, so if you find it and that you find it out there, because it's out there somewhere, that's why he wasn't in Brave New World. That's also why he may not have a future at with the MCU as playing the character. But the Young Avengers are going to be a part of it. They're going to be there. And we knew that. What's going to be happening with Wanda? Don't know. Didn't see concept art of her. I was curious not seeing concept art of Shang-Chi or Monica. Actually, there was something of Monica from that was from the Marvels, actually, that they had concept art of her actually doing some dope-ass shit. So, yeah, that's really the bulk of what they had outside of what we're here, this part here. Now, they did show this one. This one was going around, obviously, you know, with a lot of different people talking about it, sharing it. You had Divinity Seeker and others saying that it's Azuri, and you had Raymond came in clutch. Raymond came in clutch. He's got the article. More Fantasyland fight drama. Catches star of Disney Plus Marvel series The Falcon and Winter Soldier in theme park brawl. Elijah Richardson is a young actor from New Jersey who performed as Eli Bradley in 3 episodes of Disney Plus 2021 Marvel series The Falcon and Winter Soldier and in a Disney Plus sequel called Hollywood Stargirl, released this year. What? Oh, I thought they were saying like sequel to Falcon Winter Soldier. I would say what? Okay, it's a Disney something. Okay, a New Year's man who resembled Elijah Richardson was interviewed by a sheriff. I'm sorry, a New Jersey man resembled Elijah Richardson. That was interviewed by a sheriff's deputy after the fight ended, according to the Orange County Sheriff's body cam footage released recently by the state attorney's office. The man gives his birth date as September 24, 2002, which appears to be the same birth date as Elijah, but said his name was Faquan Grant. The man gave his cell phone number to law enforcement and the body cam footage when WDWNT called the number Tuesday. The man who answered said he was Elijah Richardson and then hung up when WDWNT explained it was writing a story about his family's fight at the park and asked if Faquan Grant was his real name and Elijah Richardson was his stage name. The sheriff's office was not able to provide any additional information on the man's identity. In 2015, in a 2015 Jersey Journal story, Elijah was interviewed about his rising acting career. The story mentioned the names of his parents, Tahashia and Antoine Richardson. Those people, Tahashia and Antoine Richardson, appeared in sheriff's records from the July fight. Now, they could have stopped putting her name. Tahashia and Antoine and Faquan Grant were all trespassed from Disney World property, in addition to several other family members on both sides of the fight. Tahashia was one of the 3 people arrested from the fight, although the criminal charges have since been dropped. The body cam video witness interviews and cell phone footage of the fight captured the horror and absurdity of the day. She and her family were at Disney World celebrating the 6-year-old's birthday. They wore matching red Mickey shirts with Tahashia's identity identifying her as mommy of the birthday boy, and the man believed to be Elijah in a shirt that said the brother of the birthday boy. It is my explicit son's birthday. This shit ain't supposed to go down like this, Tahashia told deputies at the Magic Kingdom after the fight, according to the body cam footage. I'm sorry, y'all got to excuse my language. Tahashia said later she was protecting her child, husband, and mother, which is why she jumped into the brawl. So why did you hit everyone else? A deputy asked her. Who's everyone else I hit? She asked. I was fighting men. I'm a 42-year-old woman fighting men. In the video, the fight, Tahashia is clearly one of the aggressors when she shoves two people. Then a man runs up on her, and she appears to punch her, or who appears to punch her in the head, hard in the face. That intensifies the fight. Tahashia trades blows with the other family, and Tahashia's relatives look like she is trying to use a stroller as a weapon. Another man comes at Tahashia and seems to be pulling her braids. That's when the man who is believed to be Elijah runs into the fray and attempts to throw punches, but it doesn't seem to land. A bystander told deputies that the Richardson family were the aggressors. Now, this is not the article. I don't know if this is the fight. Oh, this is 34 minutes. We're definitely not.
How many deaths are being seen by Reed Creek or requesting Reed Creek at this time?
This is not the footage of the fight itself.
Can I get your first name? I'm sorry? What is it? Got it. Okay. I'm sorry.
Now
As you get old, you can't hear.
Now is his name Fuquan for real? Or did he lie?
I don't know. Is it?
Okay, give me just a minute. I need to go. What's your last name? Grant. 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 Okay. Can you spell your first name for me?
Fuquan.
Okay, well, this is literally what we just read. So I thought this was the fight. There is an article though out there. Shout out to Raymond for getting this one. There is an article out there with the fight. So you can see the fight actually happen and everything like that. So the chances of brother possibly coming back if they dropped him, because their excuse of cutting him from the film was, oh, we didn't want to use characters that didn't have a place in the film. We want to make space for characters we're going to actually use. I can name several characters that were useless in Falcon and Winter Soldier, or Brave New World, but that is another discussion. So I think that was obviously just cover up, just that PR talk, just like, hey, whatever. But he got cut, I believe, for this reason, and I don't think he's coming back. And again, I just learned of this story this week. Well, this is news to me as well.
Yeah, I mean,
Stamina DM'd me too.
For sure.
Thank you for that, Stamina. But you were saying what, Corey?
I said I wouldn't be surprised, just like you said, definitely cushion talk, sugarcoating, putting what people want to out there, but I'm pretty sure this is the reason. Because you know how they are about their image.
This might be the one with the fight. Is this the one with the fight? It is. Let's take a look.
Where's security?
Well, needless to say, Fuquan and his family are probably never, I think they say they're trespassed from Disney. like I said, of all places, Disney,
Damn.
also, so, thank you for that, Stamina, because I definitely was looking for that. I don't think he's coming back. I think that might be it.
I don't think that is coming back.
I think that might be it, but who knows? Who knows? He might still pop up, but that is
So,
kind of wrapped into that Young Avengers conversation.
all right. I'm so sorry for this man.
Yeah.
In the words of Kiki Palmer.
So we'll have to see what they exactly end up doing with Patriot. If he shows up, if he's going to be a part of this team. If somebody else is not there as or Kid Loki. But that actor also was having issues. He put out a video, remember, of him being like, you guys remember that video? He was 17. He's 17, or how old is he? I think he said he was 17, maybe just turned 18 or whatever. Got kicked out of his parents' house. He had shaved his head. He looked like he was going through it. Yeah. I mean, this is kind of, is this still in the vein?
Homeless?
Let me see. What's his name? What's that actor's name? Kid Loki.
I couldn't tell you, but Lawrence in the chat said he was homeless.
Yeah, he was homeless. Yeah, he's played by Jack Veal. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep. Here it is, right here. This was a hopeful update after saying he was homeless at 17 and revealing he suffered from physical and emotional abuse. Yeah. So that was a whole thing too. And that was back. That was just December. That was in December. So a couple months back. So yeah, that was the whole thing. So he may not. I don't think he would be there because of Marvel parting ways with him. He may be there. He may not. I don't know. I always thought Kid Loki was going to be a part of the Young Avengers group that they were doing. So
they introduced him.
So yeah, but yeah. So we'll see exactly what happens with that team. But for T'Challa, now I know a lot of people have been saying, and I too have the same hopes and as everyone else. I want T'Challa to be a part of Secret Wars. I would like T'Challa to be a part of Doomsday. I would like T'Challa to be a part of the MCU in general. I don't think that we all know. I'm not going to go down the hole of why he should be here and things like that. We've said those things. We know why he should be here. It's deeper than the surface. We've said those things over and over and over and over and over again. The concept art for that individual, the different ones that they had, but the concept art for T'Challa was interesting. Caught my attention on immediately when I saw when I saw it. But I think one of the things too, that I keep going over and we've said is just the and this is the part that nobody wants to hear, but just the evidence that has been shown to us, and I still remain hopeful and everything that everybody else is. I hope that when we walk in, that it is T'Challa that they choose to use. But I'm going to break down why I don't think it's T'Challa. And I've said this before, but I'm going to kind of just go through it again. I'm going to break down why I do not think that this is T'Challa. Why I do not think that Marvel gives a damn about it being T'Challa, or rather it being given a damn about the movement, the hashtag, the videos, anything like that. But let's start here at the top. If you go back, this was back in what was it? This was back at the beginning. This was when it all started. All started with Jeff Snyder, when Jeff put out the article or the first article that he said, and this was January 7th. So let's start all the way back at January 7th. This is where it all started. Now, we had heard rumors before January 7th. We had heard things like Marvel's going to recast, and from Exiled Scooper, My Time to Shine Hello said some shit back in 2023 and things like that, saying like, hey, they're going to recast T'Challa. He's going to be back in the fold and things like that, blah, blah, blah. They've heard whispers. They've heard this. They've heard that. Jeff was the one that came out with that kind of gave it that somewhat concrete, I don't know how you say that. Gave it legs, rather. Yeah.
More like a, yeah.
Yeah.
Made it a little bit more of a fact.
He gave it legs because you had individuals like new rock stars starting to talk about it that had never talked about it in a positive light before. New rock stars had an 11-minute video, and in that 11-minute video said some things about recasting T'Challa and how it's important and, you know, it's time and things like that. So now that you have people that were against the recast originally now joining, saying, yeah, it's time, it started gaining traction even more because you, of course, have a platform like New Rockstars discussing it. Then you have the AI images that were going up of Aldous Hodge, of Damson Idris, of anybody that they thought could fit the mold.
Were getting louder.
Exactly. And it was not just on Twitter. It was everywhere. It was on Facebook. It was showing up on Threads. It was showing up on Instagram. It was whatever platform it was showing up on. People were talking about it in a different light. Also, there were some people that were still saying the same thing, saying like, hey, did you not watch the second movie? They already said that T'Challa Jr. is going to take over. That's going to be T'Challa in the MCU, blah, 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 that stuff. Then you had people that were saying, you know what? Seeing Aldous Hodge in that role, it makes sense. Seeing Damson Idris in that role, it makes sense. I can get on board with this or that. Some people started changing their tunes a little bit. But what Jeff said January 7th was, hot rumor, nearly 5 years after Chadwick Boseman's death, I hear Marvel is looking to recast its Black Panther hero T'Challa ahead of the two Avengers movies, and Ryan Coogler's Black Panther 3. Now, in this, he also said that there was a young black actor that was offered the role that turned down the role. So, you know, I don't know who that could have been. I think now Tina has done some things. She Dresme has done some things on who she thinks or who she's heard that Marvel might have reached out to first and who turned down the role. She's done some videos on that. You can definitely go check that out. Now, after Jeff said that, that's again when you had all the stuff start to swirl and everything like that. Then you had from I didn't pull Alex's. I meant to pull Alex from the Cosmic Circus. Then you had Alex of the Cosmic Circus. I didn't pull his back up, but Alex over the Cosmic Circus, as we all know, they do their Q&As every month or something like that. In the second part of his Q&A that he had for that particular month, I believe it was the January one. The second part of that Q&A that he had, someone asked him, "What have you heard about these rumors with T'Challa? Is it going to be T'Challa in the MCU, or is it going to be T'Challa's son?" And he said, I've not heard anything about T'Challa showing up other than T'Challa Jr. He said, I've heard, well, he didn't even say T'Challa Jr., he said Toussaint. He said, that's all I've heard. That's when he went into what his other scoop that went around saying that Black Panther 3 was going to have a horror tone to it. So that's all that Alex said over it. Then you had Charles Murphy, who said, find exactly what Charles said here. Charles, who said, this person asked, will they recast T'Challa? He said, all the current talks revolve around them aging up T'Challa II. Then he was asked, are they using it as his son or Boseman T'Challa, multiverse T'Challa? Everyone is saying it's his son. Now, those are three different, and again, let me break it down for even what if you weren't here. I don't even need to do that. I said I would play that as well. So let me go to this. So in case you missed Saturday, you missed what I might have said on Saturday. This was during Chillmonger's stream that he did on Saturday, where
shout out to Chill.
Yeah, shout out to Chill. I don't know if it's on here or if it might have just been in a YouTube video that he did actually. But this was in his live stream that he did on Saturday, where I came in and kind of broke it down the same way I'm breaking it down now. But this is what I said about, like, you know, the whole thing. the thing that I've recently, I guess, in the change in my reporting of recast T'Challa, when I was always so high on once I'm saying it is going to be T'Challa, they're going to recast him, and then I've come down on that because I have stepped in, I guess, the realization and reality, and I'm not trying to make anybody feel any type of way or make it sound like you're living in a fantasy world or anything like that, but I get it. You want the character. I want the character. We all love this character. We deserve to see this character on screen. But what we are all failing to realize, well, most of us are failing to realize, is that Marvel has a plan. And outside of anything else that we may want, that plan is going to stick. And I broke it down like this before. All the scoopers, it's crazy to me. And I'm not trying to come at anybody. It's crazy to me, the scoops that we pick and choose to believe. If it's a scoop that we want to happen, then it's like, oh, that's definitely got to be true. But if it's a scoop that is not on the same playing field that you want it to be on, then it's like, that's not true. That can't happen. These are the same scoopers that deliver the same scoops that you like, sometimes that you don't like other times. So if we are believing Jeff Snyder on this, but not believing him on that, and we're believing Alex on this, but not believing him on that, and all the others, you can't have your cake and eat it too. So here's the thing. Jeff said what he said when Jeff was the first one to break it and said what he said. And we've gone over this many times when he said, I don't know if it was T'Challa, T'Challa. I don't know. He said, all I know is it's a male Black Panther, a black guy, his words, a black guy. They're looking at a black guy to come in and be the next male Black Panther. That's all I know. Then he says something about semantics. All right. Now let's move it over to what Alex over at the Cosmic Circus said. He was specifically asked in his Q&A, hey, Alex, is it T'Challa that it's going to be a variant? He said, I've not heard that. I've heard everything that I've heard from behind the scenes points to Tucson, points to the child being a variant, points to them moving forward in Black Panther 3 with the variant. That's when he broke the scoop about it being Black Panther 3 possibly being a horror film or whatever. So now over to Charles Murphy, who hasn't said shit. Charles is not even in the scooping game like that no more. Charles even came out and said, all of my sources, everybody behind the scenes that I'm hearing are telling me it is this child. You got Divinity Seeker. I could go on and on. You've got Geeky Cast. All of these different scoopers are saying the exact same things. And if all their sources are telling them the exact same thing, we have to, at some point, step into the reality that we may not see him on screen. And again, come on, what more evidence do you need? Look at the video game evidence that you just got. Look at that just came out.
And
look at the stuff from the cartoons. Bro, they don't care. We care. They don't.
In the cartoon, instead of seeing T'Challa, who's supposed to be the Black Panther in Marvel Presents, when Spider-Man is an old, grown-ass adult, instead they made T'Chaka his dad, the Black Panther. So they're kind of been like sidelining him out of the way and trying to say like, well, yeah, we know Marvel has a sliding timeline, and it's for everyone who's not T'Challa. And then there's also what you said about the video game, not just the Captain America video game with Black Panther Azuri, but the video game called Black Panther, the first ever Black Panther game. Black Panther is the solo, and you can choose who your Panther is. It doesn't have to be T'Challa. And making this like the Mantle franchise, diluting the brand, and when it's clearly the Black Panthers franchise. I have so many of these things here, and they're all about him with supporting characters. With a time or two, you might see Casper Cole become Black Panther. You might see Shuri be the Black Panther while he's still on majority of those pages of those comics. You might see a side story about his grandfather. They're trying to dilute the brand to the general movie audience, who, for all they know, there's only 2 Black Panther movies. One of them doesn't have him in it.
And that's exactly, I mean, that's the point. That's the point. So that's the point I was trying to make there, though, in that, why I shared that was because to say the picking and choosing what we want to believe what the scoopers are saying. Now, I'm not saying this is true. I'm not sitting here saying this is set in stone and this is what they're doing, because things always change over at Marvel Studios. We've seen that. We've seen that with trailers. We've seen stuff in trailers that are not actually in the film. So things always change with Marvel Studios. I'm just simply saying this, what I'm seeing in the now, I don't see it happening. I don't see them.
It's not looking good for everybody.
I don't see them interested in wanting to recast T'Challa. And the other evidence on that I'm getting into with that, outside of just the scoopers, The other evidence on that is you have, let me get to that part. You have the video game stuff. I just talked about that. The video game, this new video game that they just did, and I'll let them explain it here because I don't play video games like that. Like I'm gonna be playing anything God of War I'm playing, but and I would have played this for sure. But this is the synopsis of what the video game is going to be.
To be the best Marvel game ever made. Here's why. Back in 2023, a brand new Black Panther game was announced by EA, which by the way is not to be confused with 1943 Rise of Hydra, which includes both Black Panther and Captain America. This game is being made by a completely new studio and directed by the same guy who made Shadow of Mordor, and will be set entirely in Wakanda. And thanks to new leaks we just got, this game is about to go hard. Revealed by trusted leaker Ghost of Hope, this game will let you choose your Black Panther from a lineup that includes T'Challa, M'Baku, Azari, Shuri, and even Killmonger, and possibly even more, and will feature a story that reacts to your decisions with multiple different outcomes, similar to The Witcher 3 or Cyberpunk 2077. It's also going to be semi-open world, something similar to God of War Ragnarok, and finally it's going to be third person and feature combat inspired by African martial arts. The new Black Panther.
So the point in that everybody is making is that you don't know if you're playing as T'Challa, and you can play, as he said, as multiple different Black Panthers
Black Panther.
Right. And if you look at the other upcoming Marvel video games that they have coming out, in this video game, the 1943 video game, where you can play as Azuri, or you can play as Captain America, or one of the Dora Milajes, or a U.S. soldier. In this one, you're playing as Iron Man. In this one, you're playing as Logan. And in this one, you're playing as Blade. In the in the first Black Panther film, or first Black Panther video game, solo video game, you still are not playing as T'Challa. So that is further evidence that I'm using to prove that they. And again, this is that. Why they are not using T'Challa, what the thing is, the connection that they still have with it is still to Chad. I even heard today in a video that Josh over the Den of Nerds did. He has been saying the same things, that wanting the recast and blah 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 blah. He has folded in, like a lot of the casuals. I'm not calling Josh a casual, but a lot of the people that are looking at the recasting T'Challa at the base level, that aren't looking at recasting T'Challa the way that we're looking at recast T'Challa. They're looking at it at a base level, and the base level that they're looking at it as is, okay, it's just a recasting of T'Challa. As long as we have a black male Panther, I'm good.
Present. And it's, yeah, exactly. I think I was just about to say, I feel like at the end of the day, it's not necessarily about who the character is and like what he represents, but just filling a box and checking a box as far as like a male Black character,
right,
to be a lead.
And that's where a lot of them are.
It's like,
yeah, a lot of them are just like, I'm okay as long as it's a black male Panther in there.
No.
But he even said in his video. Well, no, go ahead.
And like I've said it before, just from a money point of view, a business point of view, a social media, everything point of view, they stuck 10 toes deep into presenting this child the way they did, and there's no way they're going to step back. And if they do, it's going to be half-assed, and this is exactly it, which is just half-assed.
Yeah. And just the connection to Chad, like I said in Josh's video, he talked about it today, just that he's even heard from sources and things that he talks to. Josh does this for a living. This is what, Josh talks about Marvel News for a living. But the sources that he has, he's even heard that they're aging up the child, and that, they are going to leave T'Challa, the actual T'Challa, with Chadwick just because of what it meant to them. And they're still on it. And they're so just to give you perspective.
Yeah.
What Josh is hearing from his people is they are still on it. They're still on it. And to give you even more perspective of just being still on. And again, I've said there's nothing wrong with grief and things like that. I've said that, nothing wrong with, grief, but at some point, if you can't do your job, and that where you come to the video of Lupita. And when was this? This was back in October. So this was just a couple months ago again, where just an image of her and Chadwick on set broke her down in tears. We all remember the video.
Yeah, the grief is just the love. No place to put it, right?
I think let's roll our next clip.
No,
You want to
no,
talk about it?
it's fine. I don't run away from the tears or the grief, you know? You just live with it, you know? That experience will never be separate from the love that was formed, you know?
So and again, as I've said many times, grief has no timestamp. As long, grief over your friend or whatever, that's fine. But if you cannot do your job, then there's time to take a step back from said job. I've said that many times. I've used my own grief as an example. As some of you know, I'm not going into that, but coaching AU basketball, I've lost 2 of my boys. So I've had to take time away from work. But when I came back from work, I was fully expected to do my job. Everybody was still comforting me. How are you? Good. And things like that. But work was still done. Bills still need to be paid at the end of the day. This is a movie studio. You are actors. It is your job to put on a facade. If you cannot do that, then it's time for you to step aside. So the connection is still very, very much strong there at Marvel Studios. And I'm not faulting them for that. The connection is very much still strong at Marvel Studios and what they want and how they felt about Chadwick Boseman. And again, this was just a couple months ago with Lupita. And then you got Josh and his sources saying that they still are very much connected to Chadwick Boseman.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Not trying to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I mean, I definitely I wanna agree. I would like to definitely say that grief is a very hard thing to deal with, and it sneaks up on you when you least expect it. And I can only imagine being close to someone like that and then losing them. I mean, I personally have lost someone to cancer too, so I definitely understand how that feels. But at the same time, because I don't want to take away that pain. I don't want to take that grief. I don't want to do any of that because, like you said, it has no timeline. But on a professional point of view, on a representation point of view, this movie did not need to come out when it came out. Like, if we didn't get Black Panther 2 and then got Black Panther 2 now, I think we would be having 2 different types of conversations. Because even though it's still there, I feel like you know what I mean? Especially now that the conversation's more open, now that we're, you know what I mean? Moving into further direction, I feel like it would be a different conversation. I think it was too soon, and I think that movie was just unnecessary time-wise.
Yeah.
We could have waited to have that movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It like I don't ever want anyone to ever feel like I would take away somebody's feelings or like, you know what I mean? Or like not value what they're going through because I mean, especially about grief, because I get it. Like, I get it. But we didn't need this movie.
Right.
Like, we could have waited on this movie.
True. We also had from Cosmic Wonder and My Time to Shine. This was also a part of that whole. This was after Jeff and still around that whole January time of all the rumors with Black Panther, that they were Marvel's interested in John David Washington, Aaron Pierre, and Kelvin Harrison Jr. This was when My Time also had tweeted that they were looking at a possible light-skinned actor to portray T'Challa. I'm rounding this all to a point, so stay with me. So
lose me.
we've got the part about the light skinned T'Challa, and I remember making a tweet about that, and I think I even went live when that was said by My Time. You could take what My Time says, as I always say, with a massive grain of salt, because sometimes she is on, sometimes she is not, and I think sometimes she just trolls because she's bored. But this was something that came out, and that they were looking at a light-skinned T'Challa. Now, the concept art is not light-skinned, a light-skinned individual. The concept art, I believe, and some people do not, but I simply believe it is based off of Damson Idris' likeness. I saw somebody put on there on Twitter and say that, how in the hell do y'all see Damson Idris? They can't see Damson Idris at all. Well, it's not going to be like Tina had said on the stream I was on with Chill. It's not going to be a 1-for-1 for Damson Idris because he signed no contracts, so they cannot, actually make it his likeness for
Right.
legal purposes and things like that. So it resembles him in my opinion. So I think it resembles Damson. But so that person is not light skinned, but again, stay with me. The next things that we had kind of heard, we went over Jeff. My Time also said it's not a recast, it's an older version of his son from Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And that is one of the others that we've heard. We've also heard that it was going to be his grandfather, Azuri. And we know that Eyes of Wakanda is coming out as well. But also, we also heard from Nate, who came out and kind of debunked a lot of the things after everybody got their speculation and started talking about it and all these outlets and blah, blah, blah. Nate did an interview and said that there was no truth to some of those rumors, that these are just rumors, and blah, 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 blah. But this clip is also one that Chill did put together of Chadwick Boseman's wife, where she had said that she believes he would have wanted the character recasted and things like that, blah, blah, blah. But on this video, this is where Nate is saying that he spoke with that Marvel Studios themselves, and he had spoke with with his widow, and that they were that she was comfortable and okay with the recast and things like that. Well, this is what she said, and this is what he said.
People make movies. You have an emotional attachment to people, and so Kugler and I certainly had really hard conversations initially of whether or not we just had it in us to go back to that world. And we talked to Chad's widow, actually, who kind of inspired us to keep going.
The question that's on all of the fans' minds, like, what are you going to do? And it was pretty soon after his transition that the team, Kevin, Nate, Ryan had said that they were not going to recast him. While I try to not speak for Chad, I know it's not something he would have wanted to end because he transitioned. Right. But the thought of somebody, else just kind of coming in and playing that role, it wasn't something that I wanted to entertain. So I was really grateful that none of us had to.
Right. So,
sorry, not to cut you off.
No,
I feel like, like I just said, the recast was necessary. The recast was wanted from his end. The timing just wasn't right. And at the end of the day, this movie literally had nothing to do with the current timeline, the situation, with what was going. It literally had nothing to do with it. So we literally could have waited for this movie so it didn't feel like someone was just coming in right after.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, you could have gone about it, I don't know, in a decent way? Call me crazy?
No, you're right.
I don't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but it's just like, yeah, girl, I completely get that.
Yeah, no, they
Yeah.
definitely could have went to several. Obviously, we've gone down that rabbit hole, several different routes. But she had a, like she said, as I try not to speak for Chad, I know that he would not have wanted the role to end. So with that, we also know that or go ahead.
Sorry, I was just all saying, but then she said at the very beginning too, it was so quickly after his transition to where
Your camera went
they
out
made
too.
that
If you
decision
unless
not
you turned it
to.
off.
I didn't turn it off. Are you here? Can you see me?
No.
Nope. I don't know why. I can see you and I can hear you.
Unless it's just me and maybe chat can see you.
That's so weird. Yeah, because I see it black. I see it blank on YouTube, but I can see me on my screen. Well, that's sad. I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, J. Rob said, "Don't blame her at all." That being said, they killed the character off because they wanted to. Yeah. No, they said
exactly.
Yeah, they said they only hear you. They said they can't see you.
Damn.
So
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
that's what they did with the character, and that's what they're sticking with at this point. But now, Corey, I don't know because I can't see you still either.
I mean, as long as y'all can hear me, I guess that's okay.
But they also did, with Eyes of Wakanda. We know that is something I believe that's coming out this year. I can't say. I have not been tracking Eyes of Wakanda. But I believe that comes out this year. I believe there's supposed to be a trailer for that this year as well. But we know that is canon to the MCU. We know that it is supposed to be in the past, and it's going to be passing down the mantle and things like that. But this article they've got here, it says, this has been a long time coming. Showrunner Todd Harris said the upcoming series will further elaborate on the history of the fictional world of Wakanda, first brought to the big screen by the late actor Chadwick Boseman. Different people have been known as the Black Panther over centuries, and this will be their story. As previously revealed, the show will follow T'Challa's ancestors taking an in-depth look at how the mantle has been passed down for generations, giving Wakanda the most advanced nation in the world. Its resources have always been a point of interest for its enemies. It goes on to say the story has been stewing for a long time in my head. I'm a big believer in what Wakanda represents to mankind as a place that's untethered by expansion. It has drawn a line it won't cross, and it won't let anyone else cross. And it goes into the voice actors, and things like that. Eyes of Wakanda will release on Disney Plus August 6th. So it does come out this year. August 6th is 4 episodes. So with Eyes of Wakanda, we know that it's supposed to, as they just said, going to be a passing of the mantle and things like that. There are some that have said that the variant they're possibly going to use could be Azuri. From a different timeline or whatever, or if it's the aged up kid, or maybe it's both of them. You get to Marvel doing. I said this on the stream as well. That seems to be on par for Marvel Studios in my eyes, because we're gonna have that soft reboot and everything like that. Going into Black Panther 3, I still strongly believe that they're just still going to age that kid up, because you're still going to have, if we're to believe Anthony Mackie when he says that, I'm going to be, I would like to be, I'm going to be Captain America for the next 10 years and things like that, and going on talking about stories and things that he would like to adapt, things he would like to do, things like that, blah, blah, blah. If it is just a soft reboot and they indeed do that and keep him on as Captain America, keep other characters that were here previously, but bring on some other new ones and things like that, obviously the mutants. I said this in Chillstream, it's so on par for Marvel Studios for you to have Anthony Mackie, Captain America, Sam Wilson, talking to Toussaint, aged up in the MCU, like, I knew your father, I fought with your father and things like that, and blah, blah, blah. Just keep playing on the point that, this is T'Challa's son. T'Challa was here, blah, 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 blah. It's just, I don't know. It's just what I'm...
Just throwing a dog a bone.
What I'm seeing with
just
it.
To be like, here.
But if that is Azuri, we know that also this is happening. And and we know that this is a thing. We've known this for a while. That, and I'm tying this into the light skin thing. If they are truly looking at a light skin actor, I don't believe the light skin actor is going to be Toussaint. But I believe if you have a light skinned actor, because they've already introduced him as light skinned here, then maybe it could be Azuri. That they actually do bring in. I just don't see any signs pointing toward it being T'Challa. Now, I would love for them to really pull one over and it be T'Challa. But just from, again, what everybody's saying and hearing, as far as scoopers wise, all signs are pointing to it being T'Challa. I'm sorry, not T'Challa. Azuri or Toussaint. So I really don't know. It's a waiting game. We know that Doomsday, again, like I said at the beginning, may be even getting delayed. And if it's getting delayed, then we'll still be hearing about, people and characters that are going to be involved. We know that Damson Idris is involved in what is it? Children of Blood and Bones, I believe. The book that they are adapting into the movie. He's playing a character in that film. So his schedule to be able to even film on Doomsday might have been a little bit different as well. But so if they did push it back, then that would maybe allow him some time to go in and then be a part of this film. If he is going to be one of the ones that they've cast, to be T'Challa. If it is T'Challa, or to be Azuri, or to be Toussaint, or
okay, but this is my question: if you think it's gonna be Azuri, wouldn't you think they would have? Like, I agree. I agree. I feel like they wouldn't, because if I'm correct, isn't that Storm and T'Challa's child, right?
They named him after. That's T'Challa's grandfather, but they did name their son after him.
Right. Okay, so I'm not tripping though. Like, that was one of his kids' name.
Yes, his son.
Right. Okay. So I get
His
how would
only
you do that,
son.
because right. Like, why? How would you do that if you didn't set that up from the second movie? So I just don't see that.
I don't know. Draymax said
I was sitting
just
here thinking about it.
yeah.
I'm like, am I tripping, or like, right? I'm like, I know it's been a little minute.
That's a good
but like,
question. That's a good question from Planet Poppy, where he said, Darius, what did my source say? So I did ask. And what I was told,
right, about what?
I want to see. Well, I need to pull it up to make sure that I have it right. Let me see what I was told. Hold on. Okay, this is what I was told. I said, what's going on? Trying to figure out if they use Damson in that concept art as either T'Challa or T'Child. Damson was always the plan. I heard they were shocked when he turned it down. They weren't expecting it, but we'll see. He is still seemingly the plan. In what way, if that's T'Challa or T'Child? Didn't get. He still seems to think it's T'Challa, though, that they are using, not T'Child. And that has been the same stance of that. And again, if you look at the concept art itself, like, let me pull this back over here. If you look at the concept art itself, it resembles, I know some of you don't think so, it does resemble Damson. So that is where, damn, where the fuck did the,
I think you passed it. You go down.
Did I unbookmark it? Oh no, it's down here.
No.
It's down here.
Yeah, I saw something
It
like that.
does resemble And again, I know some of you don't think so. It does resemble Damson.
It does. Kind of like an older version.
It does resemble Damson. So if
But
they do keep, so that's what I was told from, because I did, like I said, I did ask my source. That's what I was told. But it's from what my source told me, even, back when I dropped that video back, last summer or something. So if they, and again, he's still telling me that it's T'Challa. Now I even told him, I said, I don't know. I'm kind of the belief that it's not this kid, or that it's not T'Challa, it's this kid. And but I'm being told, and he stood firm, no, it's T'Challa. That has been the plan. That's the plan. And so possibly, I'm telling you what I think. I'm telling you what my source. But it does resemble Damson in my opinion, though. So if it is Damson, and they are truly going to actually recast T'Challa and have him come in and play T'Challa, maybe the reception is so well that they're like, okay, we need to see if we can get him back, bring him back, and have him. But then again, you run into the problems with Coogler. But Tina brought this up too on the stream we did with Chill, where she said, I believe, and if you are watching, correct me if I'm wrong, what you exactly said. I think she said, the way she worded it was, because we had talked about, like, okay, what if the reception of this, what if he is T'Challa and the reception is so good that the fans are like, oh, we want more of this, want more T'Challa, want more Damson as T'Challa, actually, the right. T'Challa, blah, 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 blah. Then you go over to Black Panther 3, because, blah, blah, you got Coogler still doing that and being so stubborn and not wanting to change his story. And of course, he has a story. He wants to finish that story, blah, blah, blah. If the reception is so high with what Damson or whatever actress in the place does with the T'Challa role, she was suggesting maybe then Marvel at that point would tell Coogler, okay, then we can part ways.
Nate to kick it.
Then we can. You've given.
Kick it.
Yeah, you've given two movies, and things like that. But if they're not,
a good one and a bad one.
That's just assuming that Marvel would be, and I don't see them. I just, because they've stood behind him for so. I don't know. But they've stood behind him for so long. It would be like parting ways, basically.
I don't know. I feel like they would if the money talked. I feel like if sorry.
What?
But yeah, I think if the money talked, oh sorry, I was talking to my dog. I accidentally stepped on him. I think if the money talked and like the presence of wanting Black Panther back, checks were checking, I think they would part ways. If they didn't find a way to have them, coincide.
Yeah.
Because the money be talking.
Yeah, and like Xavier said, Marvel would have to follow the money. They would. They possibly, man. I know that we keep saying the money. I say that too, but maybe. I mean, we all seemingly believe. I believe that's why Nate Moore is leaving with the shit he delivered with Cat 4. I know some of you like it, sorry. And the shit he delivered with Wakanda Forever. I feel like obviously they were like, okay. Yeah, right. like Black Claw said, it would be creative differences where Marvel would probably part ways over creative differences over where Marvel would want to possibly take the character after the reception. That is possible. I mean, this is just a scenario. We don't, if it's the scenario I would love to happen if he does such a good job that they're like, we're going to bring in, we're going to bring him back. We're going to bring him back. And if you can't get on board with that, then.
And I bet you money.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Bet you money they will.
Possibly. Hope so. That's what we want. But again, that's what I was told from the source. That's what kind of is going on just with the what the scoopers are saying and things like that. we'll have to again kind of wait for more to see what happens. But I will say it does resemble Damson. Is Damson actually playing T'Challa? I don't know. We'll have to wait to see if he's actually going to. Yeah.
Has there been any other rumors that you've seen on your side recently that can potentially point us to other people being that character,
I've not seen
being Black Panther?
I've not seen anything. Oh, your camera came back too. I've not seen
Hello.
anything about anybody potentially playing him outside of Aldous and Damson, but that's not like anything from Marvel or anything. It's just we don't even know who the person was that they offered. Well, again,
Right.
yeah, I don't know who the person was that they offered it to. The rumored they offered it to.
Makes sense.
But again, you have Nate saying that there's no truth to those rumors, but there's too many people saying, too many of the sources saying like, yeah, they're possibly looking at doing that. So we'll see. What are some of the what are people saying in there? Let's get on that and have the conversations from some of those
chatters.
Yeah, from some of those chats. Have conversations from that. Did he not do one?
Let me go back up. Hold on.
He was supposed to.
Okay. Do you want me to start from like the video games, or do you want me to go past that? Like just the whole conversation in general, as far as.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right, Black Claw 2, let's be real, nothing in concept art represents what will truly make it to the final film. So if that's what is completely different, if that is a completely different Black Panther in the art, it can change by the time the film is released.
That is very true. That is very true. And I think that lines up with kind of, when you go back to what Cosmic Circus said and what My Time said about them looking at a light-skinned actor. They were at one point, I didn't know this. I did not even know this. I learned this past weekend. They were looking at David Olawale, have you say his last name, Dr. King from Selma. They were looking at the actor that played Dr. King in Selma
okay.
to play an older version or something like that, and he was the one that turned it down because he didn't want to disrespect Chad or something like that. So yeah, there are what we're seeing in this concept art. That's why I said, that's why I mentioned some of the other concept arts from Multiverse of Madness, No Way Home, and things like that did not actually make it into the film. This is just concept. So if things don't work out, then they have some of those other rumors and things like that I do believe to fall back on. The light skin this, or that's why I tie it into the Azuri thing, the light skin that, or the aging up Toussaint or whatever. So yeah, very true. Anything can change.
Sizzle, heavy emphasis on Wakanda side characters since Black Panther 1 ramped up after Chad's death. So yeah, odds of that being the real T'Challa is low. DTV, the same people who virtue signal about diversity, equity, and inclusion seem to have amnesia when it comes to including strong Black male characters.
Yeah.
I don't like liberal Hollywood, seriously.
Yeah,
so,
and it's not.
Yeah, I think them throwing T'Challa is just them trying to check that box. Sorry, I definitely agree.
Yeah, and I feel like I just said this today. It's not just, it's not just Marvel. It's Disney as a whole. This too. The Tiana animated series has been shelved. It's been shelved over at Disney.
Which is crazy because that movie that movie made more than what they were expecting. That's another example of another Black movie that Disney put out that they weren't expecting to make more than what they put into.
Yeah, and it's just a
list
of projects canceled.
Still my movie.
A list of Black projects canceled.
That's so
over at Disney. I mean, and you've got the stuff that we know about in Marvel that's been canceled. The Okoye series has been canceled. The rumored Monica series that was sold, Riri pushed back. Wonder Man still fucking happening, but I don't even know why I put him in the category of black characters. Yeah, all of the different black projects that have been canceled. So yeah, they don't. It seems like black projects as a whole are just talking about Blade is gonna still be released after Secret Wars. That's funny. What's another one?
Lauren said we led to believe she got knocked by him and he was gone for 4 years. That's how they can write him out and make her villain like the comics.
Who is this? Read that comment one more time.
Lawrence. We led to believe she got knocked by him and he was gone for 4 years.
Oh.
That's how they can write him out and make the villain like the comic.
Oh, I see. I see, yeah. Talking about Nakia. Nakia and T'Challa.
Yeah. Right. I want Black Claw too. I want the BP and the art to be T'Challa, but the gut is telling me it is an age up TJ, but it makes no narrative sense whatsoever for it to be Azuri. Same. I agree.
You know, it doesn't make any narrative sense for it to be Azuri, but now tell me. Did this make sense?
Fire, leaders are working fast to avert this mutant doomsday.
That asteroid is a gun pointed right at our head.
This is the only language mutants understand, sir.
Mr. President, the gravity core.
Robert, vote yes and you best pray our children read their textbooks more than their Bibles. For only history could be conned into forgiving us.
Sir, King T'Chaka is right. We know next to nothing about Asteroid M.
Yeah, that didn't make sense either. For T'Chaka to be pierced with Jubilee, Sunspot, Peter Parker, and the X-Men. But this is Marvel. This is the MCU. They are going to do it their way and do it how they want to do it. So even if it may not make sense to us, but I'm sure they're like, you know what? Yeah. Because I even said, well, we were talking about me chill, and again on the stream on Saturday, we brought up something else that's very on par with Marvel for them to do. If you were to bring in Azuri, if that is him or something like that, a variant, and then you have the aged up Toussaint from, I guess, the 616 universe or however the hell that's going to work. I have no idea. Or from this universe or whatever, 999, whatever. Then, you know, the grief of, oh, I lost my Baba, and, you know, I lost my son, and come with me, grandson, as we go fight. You know, I'm telling you, you might think that's so corny, but it is. That is just on par with shit we've seen.
Be what we get.
Yeah. And I get it. It's the Russos.
It's the Russos. We have Fatal J say it's not T'Challa or T'Challa, it's T'Chandra.
Yeah.
T'Chandra. Okay. Brian Fisher, do you think they are making the Russos go to child route? If they give him that money, honey, yeah.
Do I think they're going to make the Russos go the to child route?
Yeah.
I really, you know, I had said, and I still say this, the Russos are the ones that understand, you know, brought T'Challa in, and maybe what they understood the character because more than it was seemingly than what Ryan did because they wrote him better, you know, and things like that. Well, you know, directed and all that kind of stuff. But I believe, and this is just me. Now, this is nothing I've heard or anything like this. Is my own beliefs. This is my own beliefs. No scoopers, no nothing.
On accord.
I think he's dead in every universe. I don't think they care to use him at all. I think there is some weird mandate at Marvel Studios where they have told every creator that is involved with anything that involves Wakanda or the Black Panther that T'Challa is not to be used. They have cemented and buried that character with Chadwick Boseman to where they just simply don't care anymore. To where as long as it is a black male character in the suit, the audience, the overall audience, is going to be okay with that. Like I said, you have like people like Den of Nerds, Josh over there, that have been writing hard for Recast like we have, but has recently folded and said, you know, as long as it's a black male T'Challa, I feel like we'd all be okay with that. Well, no, all of the casuals, people that aren't really holding hard for recasting T'Challa and understanding the deeper meaning of just the deeper meaning of than the surface of recasting T'Challa, why he's important. Those people would be okay with it just being some male Black Panther. So I believe he's dead in every universe. Because you know, like I said, yeah, and with the whole Azuri thing, his grandfather,
they spent so much money. They spent so much money on that movie, on that funeral, on that mural, they spent so much money to make sure those 3 minutes were shoved down your, not even 3, the first 20 minutes of that movie was shoved down your fucking throat.
Oh yeah.
They spent that money, honey. He's not coming back. He's not. That doesn't make any logical sense. And then at the end, like, oh, by the way, here's his child, so we can just deal with that later. No.
Yeah.
No. They said what they said. They said what they said.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to throw enough money at the Russo brothers for them to back that up.
Exactly what Xavier said. They will call him a Nexus event. I believe so. I that's just me. I really do. I don't think that they've just cemented it with him. And so whatever Black Panther you do see, so going back to what I was saying about the Russos and them being the ones to do it, I think that they've even been told over at Marvel, and maybe they might even believe it too. I don't know. We've never really heard the Russos' thoughts on the Black Panther after Chadwick Boseman's death or anything like that. So, especially being in the MCU. So maybe they've even been told we're not, and maybe they agree. We're not going to touch T'Challa because it's with Chad and it was Chad's and this and this and that. And so we'll pull one of the other Black Panthers that held the mantle at the time or whatever. So that's my thought. Now, again, that's not a theory. That's not a from anybody. That's just my theory. I think he is dead. And like Xavier said, a Nexus event, he is dead in every universe.
Yeah. Let me see here. Lawrence said, watch them kill Shuri next and put in Chandra.
Yeah, and they don't seem to give a shit about that anymore. Haven't heard shit about Shuri.
Right. Raymond 2000 said, please, she was in love, and she's grieving widow who never even got in a relationship with him, let's be honest. That's the J Max show, the biggest sale job to kill a character I've ever seen. Paul Walker died, and you still don't see this sale job from them like this.
And that, you know,
Did they do a whole hologram for this dude?
Well, I definitely,
in like one of the movies.
They used his likeness for, it was like the CGI of him and things like that. But his brother was like the face for it or whatever. But I've used that as well. I've said the difference in the crew for Black Panther is, and with oh, that's right. I'll get to that in just a second. Planet Poppy. They did like 7 movies with Paul Walker before he passed his untimely death, before he passed away. And they were still all able to get Fast 7, go in there, finish the film, get it out, and went on to do 57 more. So I'm like, you know, because they're actors. They're actors. It's their job. They still are grieving
And they did,
Paul. You can still
and on
see
top
it,
of that,
but they're doing
yes,
their
and on
job.
top of that, they did way more movies. Exactly, they did way more movies together with Paul before Paul passed away, but and not your one movie that you did with Chad before he passed away. So I'm just
Yeah. What Planet Poppy said there, though, he said Eman said he spoke to one of the Russos. That is true. I forgot that. Now I didn't see the video of it, but I did see people saying that. He said that he spoke with, ran into the Russos, and I don't know the extent of what was said, but brought up recast T'Challa. So I would be interested to know what they said to him about that. If anybody. So like I said, I haven't seen it. If anybody does know what they did say about it, be interesting. Let me see.
yeah, that would be interesting because I'd be curious to see what they had to say. And this is after his passing?
This was recently. This was like at an event. I want to say maybe in the past week.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Yes, at an event maybe this past week. Chill said, does the what if version get to survive? That's, I don't know. Good question. Maybe. Maybe he's alive.
Well,
I don't know.
I guess we won't know until we know.
I don't know.
Because, I mean, I know you don't care for this show, and I've said it before, but they don't even have him in, one of KJ's favorite TV shows is Spidey and His Amazing Friends. First season, Black Panther was in and out that hoe.
And now they're not. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
like I said, I don't know, man.
It's not.
I don't know. I have to. It's one of those things where we are really waiting and holding breath on what the hell they're gonna
and
do.
like, and the last time he was in that episode too, they didn't even have him talk.
Well,
He was just there.
and people kept telling me that the
And
what
I
if.
remember laughing.
No, you can go.
Sorry, go ahead. I was just like, I just remember laughing because I'm like, wow, they just really have him just there. He's just in the background.
Not saying shit.
Saying a word. Okay. All right. Shit.
People were telling me that what
That's
if
crazy.
episode or what if season, whatever the fuck, he cameoed in. I'm thinking he's talking because people are saying, oh, yeah, he cameoed. I'm like, oh, well, because I didn't watch What If, the last stuff of it. And I was like, no. So I'm like, oh, did he really? What episode did he cameo in? Let me go check this out. And why the fuck hasn't nobody posted anything on Twitter about it? I'm like, oh, no. It was a picture. It's like, he didn't cameo. It's not a cameo.
Right.
He didn't say shit. He's not there. For all we know, he could be dead too. So we don't know. So I have no idea what they do with the what if version of him either. What's another one we got?
Let's see.
I'll see one from because I'm at the bottom. Black Claw said, Eman said he'd love to see T'Challa brought back via the multiverse and do things he did in the Secret Wars comics. The Russos responded to it positively. Now, did E express T'Challa, son of T'Chaka? Or was it just the very vague T'Challa? I say vague. It's not. It shouldn't be vague, but vague because they've now added others with the name. Or was it just T'Challa and they're like, oh yeah, the kid? Or did they not think? So if it was conveyed to them that, hey, yeah, if it's T'Challa, son of T'Chaka, hope they get it.
Yeah, pretty. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, man, 1991 said his speculation that Star-Lord T'Challa died off screen. Marvel's really making T'Challa a non-existent character. Indeed.
I was just about to read Planet Poppy. He basically mentioned Aldous becoming the new variant T'Challa and how they did the best version of the character in CW.
Yeah, it'd be great. You know, we saw the producer from Cross or the showrunner from Cross recently say that they talked about it. You know, they talk about it a lot privately. Excuse me. Talk about it a lot privately. I would love to have Aldous be T'Challa in the MCU. I think all the AI images are very, very, very dope of him.
Yeah. I definitely agree.
Oh, here we go. Let's see. Let's see this here. Shout out to Stamina who sent this. This is what Eman said to the Russos.
Around, and I was like, "Hey, Joe, how's it going?" Turned around. He was like, "Hey, how's it going?" I said, "Hey, man, thank you so much. Just wanted to tell you, I'm a big fan of your work. You know, I really love what you guys did with Captain America. And you know, first of all, you gotta ease them in, right? You gotta kind of make it nice for them and all that, right?" So I was like, "Man, you know what? Listen, I've bought out a theater for y'all Avengers movies and stuff. Like, y'all have done the whole thing, you know." So, and you know, he's like, "Man, first of all these Hollywood folks, thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. You know, they love it. You gotta ease them in, okay? Give them the butter. Give them the butter." Y'all know why I'm here, and I know why y'all are here. So I had to tell him the very first thing. But before I tell y'all, can we bring y'all a quick little ad real quick? Let me just play this ad real quick.
Say T'Challa, we need a recast. Chat would agree, and I truly believe that. Stories untold, I pray that we get to unfold. Don't kill him, we don't need to see that. A black man is king, I think that is crucial. If not for the grown-ups, the kids should move you. Representation, let it multiply. Stop telling the stories, how legacies die. We can explore the world of Wakanda by addition and not replacement. 1.3 billion, how is that? And I'm making a statement. Being pigeonholed to a role like there could be only one is deflating. Man, it's a mindset that ain't died yet, cause the lack of seeing our faces. Sure, we can be the queen of the nation. Women should feast, we want elevation. Now, wouldn't it be dope if they rose up together without doing something as cold as erasing them? We got respect for Ryan and Nate. They doing their best, they stuck in the middle, but I hope they think about what is at stake. Don't rush it, but please let the saga continue.
Doubling down on Black
Death is a trope we no longer want to handle. Wakanda forever, T'Challa forever. It's never been about the man, so what is we saying? This ain't about Phantom and getting my way. It's all for the love, it's not for the hate. No matter what people are trying to say, we cast T'Challa. We cast T'Challa.
Very dope.
So, yes, y'all know that was all I needed to talk to him about. Okay. So, as you will see in this video, no, I did not play the whole music video for him, but I did want to tell him straight up how much he meant to me and the fandom in terms of what they gave to us with T'Challa, right? That introduction in Civil War, fantastic. Hold on, let me get y'all the other. Okay, this ain't a lot, but it's a little something. What they gave us with Civil War and T'Challa was fantastic. I told him straight up, you guys gave us the best version. Rest in peace to Chadwick. But you gave us the best version of T'Challa that we've seen. The fighter, the strategist, the dude that was no nonsense. That was that guy, right? And what I asked him specifically was, and this is where you don't see a lot, but you see the phone, right? I asked him straight up, do you mind if I share my dream with you real fast? Right? That's all I asked. I was like, can I share my dream with you? And he was like, sure, absolutely. And he is so nice. Okay, shout out to the Russos. Joe was so nice. He was like, I don't mind. I got all these people I could talk to. Let me talk to this one guy. And I showed him on my phone a couple of images that from the comics that I was like, I would love and I would hope to see something like this one day. What you did for Captain America, what you did for Steve Rogers, lifting up that hammer, what you did in those movies. If I saw these things on screen, I'm screaming. I'm screaming. And not only that, I also told him, because I know some of y'all are gonna be like, well, did you tell him don't get Tucson? Did you tell him? Listen, we ain't had time for all that. Okay, we ain't had time to talk about T'Challa Jr. and the problems and recap. We ain't had time.
You could have slipped that in
I
there.
had to be strategic and quick with my
in there.
45 seconds that I had with him. So I did tell him we would love you guys have access to the multiverse, and a variant would be perfect. A variant with Dr. Doom issues, with a destroyed Wakanda, that would be perfect. Okay, so I put that out there. I put that out there. Now I wanted to share with y'all some of the images that was all the video that we were allowed to take because we weren't supposed to shoot video. So sorry. But we do have some of the images here. Let me see if I got them. But one of them is a little spoilery. So if you want to tune away, I guess I'm gonna show y'all two, and I'm gonna save the last one. You know, oh no, don't do that. Give me that third one. Hold on. I'm gonna try and get this other image here for y'all. Yes, there we go. So here's the first image that I showed him, and I was like, listen, you guys are dealing with Secret Wars. And in case you read the comics, which I know they have, there are 3 important scenes for T'Challa. Okay, not Junior, just a variant T'Challa, whatever. The first one would be this. This would be the scene. I think
say
this was
that
in the Time Runs Out comic.
Every time we talk about Secret Wars or whatever, I always say, how the fuck do you just not have T'Challa? The bitch opens with T'Challa. Yeah, it's Time Runs Out. He's seeing the incursion. Yeah, I always say that.
Like,
yeah, so it doesn't make sense.
Where T'Challa is the first one to actually see the Earths colliding with each other. Okay, he was the first one to see that in the comics. So I'm like, that scene right there would be amazing if we can see a variant T'Challa looking up and seeing the incursions happen. Second one, and this one goes right into what I was telling you guys about with my theory. I kind of shared it a little bit with them, but not in detail, was I need to see this. And that is T'Challa at the head of the table of the Illuminati. We had recently talked about how the director of Cap 4, I think we talked about this last week, the director of Cap 4, he sat here and said that there was a deleted scene or a post-credit scene where potentially the Illuminati were going to make it into Cap 4, but they pulled it because they wanted to save it for later. My theory is one of 2 things is the case. One, either that Illuminati had Captain America in it, which he was in the comics, and they didn't want to have Chris Evans, Steve Rogers show up because it would upend, everything
when he does show
being
up
there.
Well,
and
yeah,
it'd be a distraction.
That too.
Or 2, T'Challa was there and they weren't ready to show another Black Panther yet. So I think that was one of the reasons. So I told him, I was like, listen, it ain't got to be a long thing. It could be a post-credit scene, but I really do believe, Aldous Hodge, if y'all got a T'Challa in there as the Illuminati, this would be amazing, right? Now, this one is a little spoilery.
It would make sense.
So, again, if you hear, you already hear. But I showed him this image, and I told him, if you put this in there, I will cry. As a grown man, I will cry. Because when I saw this
the
in
gauntlet
the
image?
Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars, It was
I
amazing.
would
It was
think
a
so. That's what
very
I'm thinking.
important role in the Secret Wars story with T'Challa, and I showed him this image. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That is T'Challa grabbing and putting on the gauntlet. Okay, you can have Cap raise up that hammer. You can have T'Challa put on that gauntlet.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you do that, we're passing out. We're screaming. You do that, the Black community is standing up. Okay, I'm getting goosebumps just now. Just look at it. That ain't Ash. That's goosebumps. You give me this. Okay. So I told Mr. Russo this. Okay. I told him that. And I was like, listen, you do this. This right here would make my dreams come true. Okay. What he said to me right after that. Thank you. Thank you for showing me this. We needed this kind of reminder. We appreciate that. When I tell you, I almost wanted to cry. I almost wanted to have a tear of just, because I felt what he was saying. I've been around Hollywood folks, right? I'm not trying to brag or nothing. I'm just saying, like, I've been around the atmosphere, and sometimes you can feel when they're just kind of giving you the Hollywood, oh, thanks, hey, let's do lunch. You know what I'm saying? This did not feel like that. I look at body language when I talk to these folks. When they're not interested in you, they be like, yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I like that. Yeah, sure, we should do that. They're not interested. This man turned to me, looked at me, talked to me, looked me in my eyes, and was like, yo, like, thank you. Like, this, thank you for this. We needed that reminder.
I hope so.
We appreciate that. And I really felt that he was genuine about it. Now, am I putting my 100% hope and expectations that this is going to happen? No, I'm not doing that. I'm not naive. I understand that there are other powers that be and other things, but dang it, I'm talking to the source. The only thing we can do is hope to be heard. And I'm happy that we were heard. It doesn't mean they're going to follow through with it. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. Maybe they already had that planned out. I don't know. Maybe this was the seed that will grow, and maybe we'll see. I don't know. But I'm happy and I feel accomplished that the seed was at least planted. Because as I've been saying, even with the Recast T'Challa movement, I've told y'all the one thing we can do, we cannot twist Marvel's arm. We cannot force Disney to do stuff. But at least if we can be heard, it's the least that we can ask for. And I feel like we were heard. So that was it. Guys, I hope y'all, I hope I did something for y'all.
That is hopeful. I will say that. I was definitely way more attached and hopeful. I was smiling there at the beginning when he was talking about how he walked up to him, talked to him, pulled him aside, like, because it's like, okay, let's, yeah. And then I wish he would have told him. I know he said he didn't have time, but I wish he would have told him, like, just quickly. T'Challa, not Tucson. With these images, blah blah blah.
No child.
I would, but I do. That is hopeful. That is very hopeful, actually, because it's like the Russos, they seemingly get it, and hopefully, with them turning to him and actually showing the admiration, like, hey, thanks for showing us this. Hopefully they do. Hopefully, I just would really, I would like it to be T'Challa. And I hope they do all those things that was shown, for doing comic panels and things like that, or panels from the comics onto the screen like that. Then that's one that I would love to see. And like I said, him opening and time runs out. It starts in Wakanda. It opens in Wakanda. So
It opens in Wakanda. I was literally just telling a friend that earlier today. Like, it's so and I just don't know how they could do it without T'Challa. I really don't, and I hope that they don't find a way to do it without him, because that would just really suck.
yeah, yeah.
I don't think I can
That's
trust the rest of the movie.
Yeah, that is hopeful. That is hopeful. That is. It's on the Russos. We need you to do what's right. Do the Russos have social media? Do they have like Twitter? It's their official Twitter, or an Instagram that's their official Instagram?
That is a good question.
Like Joe, is it Joe and Anthony, or is it just under one of them?
Maybe look up Russo Brothers and see.
Not under Joe. Russo Brothers. Is this them? This is them? This is them. Now, do they run this?
Probably not.
Roger said just Instagram. Is it just Instagram they have? They don't have a Twitter? Yeah. But see, Instagram has kind of changed it. Oh, no, you can actually message them. Not that they'll see it. But maybe people should go to their Instagram. Express to them. Express to them what you want. Not trying to, don't twist arms and things like that, but just express what you know, what is wanted. T'Challa, bring
In a very
T'Challa back.
respectful way.
Yeah. Because we constantly gush over the Russos and what they did with Infinity War, and not just the Russos, Marcus and McFeely as well, and just the work they brought.
Yeah, everything they've done for the MCU, for sure.
So definitely, if you're interested in messaging them, you can message them and let them know, hey, I'm a huge a huge fan of your work in the MCU and what you guys have done and things like that. And you guys did T'Challa so great. It would mean the world to not just me, but so many other T'Challa fans. If you guys could bring him back, T'Challa, son of T'Chaka, back, word it, however, and maybe spam the Russos.
Maybe that's how we get it back.
Yeah.
I mean, we controlled the internet with changing the look of, Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm about to do it again with this Shrek 5 nonsense.
Yeah.
God, it looks awful.
Yeah. Stamina said, I think they have company accounts. Don't know about personal ones. Yeah, that's what I was saying. That I think those are there. I don't know if they run that. Don't know if they run that. Puma Lee said, we also have to show up at Sinners and speak on T'Challa at every chance ever. Yep, that's true too. Definitely want to see Sinners. I'll be seeing Sinners. Raymond said the Russos have a podcast with Marcus and McFeely. Wow.
Oh, that's
they said they respond to comments. So, well.
Oh.
What, are you talking about on the podcast or on their Instagram? Yeah, Dre said that'd be amazing if it happens. Yeah, I hope it happens. Definitely want to see it.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
Definitely want to see it. Right. But yeah, that is what we got today on everything. Corey, any final thoughts from you to the chat?
I'm so happy I got to be here with you guys always. I really hope that this mustard seed grows. And yeah.
D Stizzle said I ain't supporting
I'm nervous
nothing
and
Ryan
I'm excited.
touches.
That part. I'm excited and I'm nervous to see what we're gonna get ourselves into moving forward with the MCU and how we're gonna get ourselves into Secret Wars. And I just really, really hope that the Russo brothers and Mark are really listening to the fans and figure out a way to bring him back.
Yeah. Tomorrow is Daredevil.
So,
Everyone, Daredevil drops tomorrow.
mhm.
On Disney Plus. So that'll be the first things for that, and then they'll move into Thunderbolts, move into Fantastic Four, and then seemingly Doomsday. So we have a big year for movies this year, and we have a bigger year, in my opinion. That 2026 year is a huge year for movies.
Yes. Superman comes out this year or next year?
Superman is this year. Same
This
month.
year, right? In July?
Same month as F4 and Jurassic World. What is it? Dominion?
Oh, damn.
Is it
Are we
Jurassic
gonna do reviews on all three?
Probably. Probably.
All right. It's gonna be in July. Oh, I'm about to get so many rewards.
Raymond said they actually post a lot.
Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, this was 14 hours ago. But, yeah, is it actually Joe and Russo posting these, or is this like the company, or like someone from their team?
Probably someone from their team, I would assume, like a PR person.
Yeah. But tomorrow, as you guys know, supposed to be, we should be live tomorrow. I should still be done with everything with the class that I got to do and everything like that, to be back and be able to be live. So should be live tomorrow. Definitely again live on Thursday, but should be live tomorrow and Wednesday. If I'm not live tomorrow, it's because I'm watching Daredevil, and then I will get my review of Daredevil and go into news on Wednesday. Because I'm not going to be home till late tomorrow. So I'm not going to be able to. When does it even drop on Disney? Is it like 2 a.m. or is it like 6 p.m. tomorrow?
I don't know. Let me find out.
I think it's like 6 p.m. tomorrow. Ricardo said, that's going to be badass. I don't even fuck with Daredevil. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be really good. It does look like it's going to be good.
It says 6 p.m.
6 p.m. If you have not seen
Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time.
9 p.m. Eastern?
Where's Central? Oh, where's Central time? Hold on.
If you have not seen the 3-minute special look they gave, check that out. It's actually pretty good. I checked it out and I was like, damn, that shit looks good. It looks good. I'm actually ready to see it.
Giving me a Central time. Just saying 6 p.m. PT time, 9 p.m. ET time.
Okay. Yeah, looks good.
There's that.
Looks good. So yeah, check that out. Grace said no Tiana, no Dala either. Raymond said this account is their personal one. They remember a lot of the cast birthdays and stuff. Oh, okay. Okay, well, check that out too. Let the Russos know what you want. But again, we appreciate everybody being here live. Not live tomorrow. If I'm not, it's because I'm watching Daredevil. But if I'm live, we'll be live Wednesday to go over Daredevil and to go over whatever news there might be. So we appreciate everybody being here tonight. Thank you for hanging out. If you are new here and you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit that subscription button, the like button, and subscribe. You know what? I wanted to do a different outro song, and I don't care if I get struck for it. I'm gonna do it anyway. Hold on. Because I want the outro song to be just a little bit different today. Hold on. This is going to be the song today. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on, I can do it. It's gonna be annoying, but hold on, just work. You know what? How annoying is this gonna be? I want to do it, and I'm going to do it. Hold on. It's gonna work. It's gonna work, and I think it's gonna be a better outro. I don't care if this is kind of, because I didn't play what Jeff said either. Oops. I don't care if this is kind of lagging. Ah, there it is. Okay, now is this for? It is. Okay. This should now play the outro. Okay, now everybody, again, like, subscribe. I meant to fix that earlier because I didn't want that other outro. I wanted this one. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, and we will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
See ya.
I'm wanting to do it.
My phone is lagging. Okay, friend.
You know what? That is absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct. Rest in peace to Angie Stone. That was not mentioned. So rest in peace to Angie Stone. That was not mentioned. My apologies. So I do want to mention that. Put that on notice. I see everybody in there. Definitely rest in peace to Angie Stone. Enjoy your night. And enjoy this hostile government takeover that we are literally in.
Sorry. I have this song like playing in my ear and I cannot.